Shalom. I want to start off by saying Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the elder apostles of Great Millstone, GMS, and honors and blessings to all the brothers out there that are teaching the truth and sincerity, all the prophets. Shalom. I want to do this video on how when the Lord comes back, He's coming back to do a lot of killing. He's coming back to kill a lot of people who the world calls Jesus, which that's not his real name. His true name is Yahweh Shai. And who the world calls God, his Father, his name is Yahweh. And I'm going to get this scripture to start this lesson off. This is Exodus chapter 13 verse, Salakia. Exodus chapter 15 and 3. The Lord, Yahweh, is a man of war. Yahweh is his name. So that right there is letting you know how who the world ignorantly calls God, which his name is Yahweh. That's letting you know that he's a man of war. He's not how they say he is. The world doesn't know the Most High. The world has a misconception of how the Most High really is. They think he's sending his son back to bring the whole world together. They think he's coming back to bring peace on earth. When he said, "Well, I'm gonna get that later," he said that he's not coming to send peace on earth. He's coming to send fire. And if the Most High is a man of war, then what do you think his son Yahweh Shai? What do you think he is? He's exactly like his father. I'm gonna get this scripture in Isaiah chapter 66, verse Isaiah chapter 66, verse 15. For behold, the Lord, and this is talking about Yahweh Shai, by the way. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury, and his rebuke with flames of fire. So that right there, this is a future prophecy of when Yahweh Shai comes back. This hasn't happened yet. This is a future prophecy. So that right there is telling you that he's coming back to kill. He's coming back with anger. It didn't get to the killing part yet, but when it says he will come with fire and with his chariots, that's talking about what the world ignorantly calls UFOs, which in the Bible is known as the chariots of Israel. So he's coming back with so-called UFOs, and there's an innumerable number of those. That's how the angels get around. That's the vehicles of the angels, the pure energy. And this next verse, for by fire and by his sword will the Lord, Yahweh B'Hashem Yahweh Shai, plead with all flesh, and the slain of the Lord shall be many. So the slain of the Lord will be many. He's going to kill a lot of people with the chariots. Beginning starting off with the chariots, and with those thermonuclear ICBMs, those intercontinental ballistic missiles. The Lord is going to use those as instruments to kill, to judge the wicked. Which who are the wicked? I'm going to get this scripture. You should already know who the wicked is, but I'm going to get this anyway. This is the book of Slakia. This is the book of Job, chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So the earth was given into the hand of the wicked. The Most High, Yahweh Hashem Shai, gave the earth into the hand of the wicked. Who's ruling the earth right now? Who is ruling the planet Earth right now? What nation of people are ruling the planet Earth right now? All you got to do to find the answer to that is find out who's controlling all these world banks, and that's your answer right there. Who's controlling all these world banks? So-called white men, which in the scriptures are known as the Edomites, Esau. That's who's ruling the world right now. The international banking families, the elites, the Rothschilds, all those elites banking families, those are Edomites. So that's the wicked. And that's why the Lord's coming back with anger and vengeance, because he's coming back to judge the wicked for destroying the earth. For starting, beginning with what they did to the nation of Israel, they put us in slavery. They have to pay for that. There's a recompense for that. The Lord's coming back to judge them for all the wickedness they did to his people. And I'm going to get this another scripture to prove what I just said. This is the book of Zechariah. This is the book of Zechariah chapter 14, verse 12. And this shall be the plague wherewith the Lord Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai will judge all the people that have fought against Jerusalem. Their flesh shall consume away while they stand upon their feet, and their eyes shall consume away in their holes, and their tongues shall consume away in their mouth. So the Lord's going to use them thermonuclear ICBMs to judge the wicked, to judge beginning with the wicked of the nation of Israel, because he starts with his people first. Like the scripture says, he will begin at his sanctuary first. Actually, matter of fact, let me get that real quick. So I could just get exactly what it says. This is the book of 1 Peter chapter 4. 1 Peter chapter 4 verse 17. For the time is come that judgment must begin at the house of the Most High. And if it first begin at us, what shall the end be of them that obey not the gospel of Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai? So that right there is letting you know that the Lord, before he starts judging, before he judges the world, he starts with his people first. So that's beginning with Israel. He's going to judge before he even gets to Esau. He's going to judge. He's going to judge the wicked of Israel. But of course, the elect, there's a small remnant that is going to be delivered. He's not going to destroy the whole nation. He said he's going to have mercy on Jacob. He said he chose Israel. But there's a certain number of Israelites that are going to be destroyed by the Lord when he comes back. They're going to be destroyed by martial law. They're going to be destroyed by ultimately the nuclear missiles. But there's a lot of death that the Lord has coming for the wicked of the nation of Israel. Because 2/3, as it says in Zechariah chapter 13, and I might as well get it because I'm right here. This is the book of Zechariah chapter 13, verse 8. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith Yahweh, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die. But the third part, shall be left therein. So 2/3 So roughly 2/3 of the nation of Israel is going to be cut off and die, but the 1/3 is going to survive, and that consists of the 144,000 and the rest of the elect. Men, beginning with the men and then the women and children. So the elect is going to be saved from this destruction, but ultimately the 2/3 is going to die, because the Lord is coming back to kill. That's the point of this lesson. The Lord is coming back to do a lot of killing. Two-thirds of Israel, that's a lot, because the scriptures say Israel is as the sand of the sea. So 2/3, that's millions. That's hundreds of millions. So that's a lot of killing. And on top of that, the heathens are going to be destroyed too. But the elites of the nation of Israel are going to survive though. The Lord is going to have it to where they're in bunkers and underwater bases and their space stations. He's going to have it to where they don't get touched by the missiles. But the only reason being is because they have prophecy has to be fulfilled. They have to go into slavery. We have to reward double unto them for what they did to us. So they're not going to. The elites are going to survive, so they could bring back their nation in slavery. But I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this scripture. This is I'm gonna get a few more scriptures, just proving that the Lord is coming back to kill. This is Isaiah. This is Isaiah chapter. This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 13. Salakia. This is Isaiah chapter 42, verse 13. The Lord, Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shai, shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. So the Lord is coming back as a man of war. That's why when you read the description of Yahushua in Revelation, in the book of Daniel's, in the book of Revelations, it says he's wearing a golden girdle. He's girded about his paps. In the ancient world, men of war, they would have girdles on when they went out to war. So he's dressed up for war. He's ready for war. It says the day of vengeance burns in his heart. So when he comes back, he's gonna be like a man of war, man. He's gonna have a war cry. The angels, they're gonna blow the trumpets, and they're gonna get down, man. They're gonna get down to war, man. All the armies of the earth will attempt to fight against the Yahushua. So the Lord's coming back. He's coming back in war formations with the chariots, man. It says he will go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. He shall cry, yea, roar. He shall prevail against his enemies. So Esau ain't gonna stand a chance against Yahushua. These goddamn devils ain't gonna stand a chance when Yahushua comes back. It says he's gonna prevail over his enemies, man. So, man, that's pretty much the point. These devils are gonna lose, man. Jacob is the beginning of it to follow with. Esau is the end of the world, man. So, man, these devils ain't gonna make it, man. They only have a short time left. That's why it says the devil is coming down with great wrath, because he knows that he had but a short time. But that's pretty much the point. So I'm gonna end it there. I want to say, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, Barakatah Yahweh, Barakatah Yahweh Shai. The water Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai for giving me the spirit to do this lesson. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and Shalom to all the brothers, man, all the prophets, that are out there doing the work. And I want to say shalom.